Hi traders, this is Sin with the New Level Trading Report for Wednesday, July 27th. Corporate America's hopes for a second pickup in the U.S. economy dimmed today as many companies, Emerson Electric, Corning, warned of weakening demand for everything from industrial equipment to televisions. Their cautious words, coupled with the weak earnings reports from Delta and WellPoint, spooked investors who are already on the edge because of this U.S. debt ceiling standoff, and it basically sent the Standard & Poor's index down 1%. The Dow was down 198 points today. The Nasdaq lost 75 points, and the S&P lost 27 points. So not a good day for trading to the long side. This is what we're looking like on our Dow Jones, and you can see this is a 15-minute chart, but just this sell-off throughout the week. And again, obviously, to me, I think that a lot of this has to do with what's going on with the debt ceiling, and then coupled with, again, this earnings. Although we've had some companies that did have good earnings, but even those have been selling off lately. So I want to show you what we look like on the daily, and we haven't talked in a few days, but you can see I've kept, again, this trend line downward just so you could kind of get an idea of what's going on. We could not get up to this 12,876 level, and we double topped, almost a perfect double top here. You can see last week and then this week as well. So this is what we're looking like now. We're coming back into this congestion area, and you can see we have actually a bottoming tail here on the 18th. So that's holding as a bit of support, and you can see we have some support throughout that area. And I'm going to tighten this up now so you can see again what we've talked a lot about, and that is just lots of congestion in this area. It doesn't mean that we won't go up, and I think once we get this debt ceiling news done and hopefully resolved in a way that's good for traders, then we'll see a push back towards the highs. And again, we still have lots of earnings coming in. So let's take a look at the Nasdaq, because that just really did not do well today. Let's see here. What am I doing here? Oh, well, that's not good. Let's try it again. Hopefully they're going to let me. Okay, there we go. Okay, so you can see again just a huge sell-off today. I mean, just about as bad as I've seen in quite a while. But again, look at here, we're in this chop zone, and that's what's happening. So we double topped, but again, we had a top here, and in fact, if I tighten that up again, you can just see we're really struggling to get over this 24.35 area. So to me right now, we're just saying that we're pushing away again, and it doesn't mean we won't try again. We've really just come back into, we have a little bit of support in this area around this 23.65, but a huge candle on, look at that huge volume too. So just not a good day for trading, again, like I said, to the upside. Let's take a look at the dollar. We've talked so much about that, and again, this is the trend line. We broke that trend line, and I'm actually going to give you a better look at that. Remember, we had lots of indecision, these dojis, and this is shooting star, spinning tops, and bottoming tails and topping tails and so forth. And then we just broke out of that, and now what I like, it's one of my favorite plays. Obviously we came into some support here at this 27.73 area, and that was where the trend line was. But now we have this here, and I call that a tweezer, and that's about as perfect a tweezer as you can get. We're on a little bit above average volume. So now what I'm thinking is we're going to want to, at least try to push upward and possibly to the backside of this trend line. So I'm going to watch for that. But usually when you see something like this, it definitely means that we've bottomed in the dollar, so at least for now. So let's take a look at FinViz. And again, you can just see sell-off. We were down a bit at the open. The futures were down, but then you can just see this huge sell-off, and lots and lots of red. And again, we talked about it. The bright red is not good. Very, very just not good. Amazon had earnings last night. They did really well, but even they pulled back. So let's take a look at the bubble study. You're not going to see too much to the upside, but again, as I said, Amazon had really nice earnings, and they made a new high and then pulled back. But it looks like they ended with a spinning top today. But still, I think that they'll be fine. Again, we just have to kind of work through this economic news. This is Williams Company. It's down, or excuse me, it's up about 4.8%. TSS, which is a business company, up about 5.5%, and looks like GILD did okay today as a biotech company, up about 1.9%. You can see here's our zero line, so we do have a lot that didn't do terribly, but let's take a look at the downside, and a lot of those again were in the NASDAQ. I'm going to move that down a bit. Juniper, they had terrible earnings, obviously. They were downgraded as well, so down over 20%, a $6, looks like about a $6.50 loss today. This is JDSU, that's a communication company, down about 8%. This is a delivery company, down about almost 8%. NTAP was down. I'm trying to sneak in here to see if I can see some of these big ones. There's Apple. Again, Apple had those good earnings the other day, but just the market could not hold back, especially the NASDAQ stocks really took the hit today. But Don actually had a really terrific day. He traded futures all day to the short side. He traded oil, NASDAQ, the Russell. He did really well. He did about $2,200 today. So a nice day for trading to the downside. Let's take a look at what's going on in economic news tomorrow. And let's see, we have so another big day: initial claims, continuing claims, and pending home sales. So again, that's going to make a big difference in what happens to the market. Not only do we have some earnings and so forth coming in, but we also have the economic story, and then now claims coming back. So it could be another down day today. I mean, that's what it looks like to me, at least when I'm looking at a daily on the futures charts. Let's take a look at what's going on in earnings tomorrow. And here we go. Tomorrow we have XOM, that's Exxon, it's an oil company. DD, which is DuPont, another big one. BMY, Bristol Myers, all the big ones. This is MetLife. CL, which is Colgate Palmolive. Starbucks. This is Dominion Resources, it's an electric company. Celgene, and then you can see, just to go back through, on Friday we have another oil company, obviously Chevron, huge. Merck, drug company. Amgen, another, it's a biotech. This is a gold company. AEP is an electric. AON, that's insurance. So again, lots of companies coming in the next few days, and it's really going to make a difference in what happens in the market. However, with everything hanging over our heads, it's hard to say exactly what's going to happen. But anyway, we'll trade what we see. Thanks again for joining us. Have a great evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.